Hello, my beautiful warriors. Today we're doing an ankle mobility movement stretching session. It is about, it's short. It's less than 10 minutes. Piece of cake. This is something you'll want to do if you get shin splints, if your squat is not very low, like if it's quite hard to get into a low squat, your ankle mobility is probably playing a huge role in that. Just to give you a breakdown, what is ankle mobility? I'm going to put a picture right here on the screen so that you understand what angle we're talking about. But basically, it is the ability of, when you squat down, for your knee to track forward over your toe without your heels coming up off the ground. So it's that angle on the front of your leg that starts at your top of your foot, hits your ankle, and then comes up along your shin. So it's this angle right here. So if it looks more like a 90-degree angle, then your ankle mobility is not that good. So the things that we have to work on are increasing mobility and loosening up your calf. Probably quite tight, and as well as your shins, they're probably pretty tight and they just don't want to budge. So this is going to get you prepared for that. All right, enjoy. Something you should do 3 to 4 times a week, especially if you have squat struggles, or I know some of you were expressing that the warrior workouts were giving you some shin splints, probably just because of the impact, probably because you're forcing your ankles to get deeper than you normally do on a regular basis. So NBD, something that's totally in your control and isn't as bad as you think, but will take some work and some consistency to rework that movement pattern. All right, I'll see you guys in this next clip. All right, bye. All right, first things first, we're gonna practice that ankle mobility movement. We're just gonna do it with a little bit of resistance. You can use a resistance band. You can also just use your body weight. The idea here is to stretch and smush your leg so that the angle of the top of your foot to your shin becomes smaller. How far can you get your knee to track over your foot, but keep your heel on the ground? So what you're going to do for this is push your knee forward and down so that your heel wants to come off the ground. Once you find that place, you're going to take it back a notch so that your heel can stay on the ground, but you're still getting a stretch, which you'll feel in the bottom part of your calf. You'll also feel it on the top of your foot up into that angle, into your ankle and shin in the front of your foot. Then we're going to take it into a lunge, okay? So for this lunge, your hands are inside your foot, and you are going in a circle. You can allow your heel to come off the ground. Basically, I'm trying to make a circle over my foot. So I'm trying to make a circle with my knee over my foot. My entire body moves as I do it. Now I'm going in the opposite direction. Again, trying to make that circle over my ankle. Here we're bringing movement. It's almost like a reverse ankle roll. Instead of just rolling our foot, we're rolling our entire body while our foot stays still. And we're also adding some resistance with the resistance band, which is pulling our body backwards at the ankle as we are pushing down on our quad to try and squeeze and stretch the calf and decrease the angle from our foot into our shin. Now I'm going to practice my squat because the direct positive benefit of increased ankle mobility, as you can see on my left side, is a little bit more than my right, so I did some damage, some good damage there. The direct impact is a better squat because you are able to have more range of motion. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So you want to find the point where you are pushing your knee. Whoops, that's not supposed to happen. You're going to find the angle where you're pushing your knee. And when I say knee, I really mean like the quad right above the knee, pushing down and slightly forward. Find the place where the heel comes up off the ground I'm changing directions so you guys can see better. I'm also allowing my ankle to kind of rock back and forth, but I want to find the place where I keep my heel on the ground, but I'm still getting a decent stretch in the calf, the lower part of my calf behind my leg, and then also the shin into the ankle at the front of the leg. Go into my runner's lunge, and I am doing my rotation circles. It's okay if your heel comes up. You're trying to push the range of motion in the ankle right now, and it's okay if the heel comes up. As much any direction that you can is what you want to bring to this. Now I'm just releasing pressure and putting it back down. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction with the shoulder circles. With the ankle circles. This is going to start to burn, especially if your ankles are pretty limited in their range of motion, especially if you do get shin splints or you have very tight calves and your ankle mobility just is difficult. It's going to start to burn, like the lactic acid feel will start to build. Again, I'm going to test my squat. I'm allowing my heels to come up a little bit because I'm stretching them out a little bit. But ideally, you do want your heels to come off the ground. Now I just want to assess my range of motion, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. You can do this with any sort of resistance band that you have, the smaller circles or not. You're going to put the one end of the resistance band around the foot. You could do it around the front of the foot or around the sole, like by the ball of your foot. It's just going to apply two different types of resistances. So I am letting the band pull me, and then I am pulling against the band. So I'm letting the band pull me here, pointing my toe extremely, and then I'm going to flex my foot and allow the band to give me some resistance, which is strengthening the muscles in my calf and ankle. But I'm also working on increasing that range of motion. Now I'm going to switch feet. So again, I am pulling against the band, pointing my toe, flexing my toe. I'm just doing some circles now, so it's a little bit faster. I'm allowing the resistance band to pull my foot into a pointed foot, and then I'm flexing my foot back, pulling against the resistance band. So like I said, one angle is with the band wrapped around the top of your foot. Another angle is if I were to hold the band and wrap the other end around the bottom of the sole of my foot. And you would do a similar back and forth stretch and contract that way. Now I'm just going to take some manual ankle circles. I'm just going to roll my ankle in all the directions it's supposed to go. Counterclockwise and clockwise, both sides, just bringing some more mobility in there now that we have moved it a little bit. All right, don't hate me. We're going to work on some side lunges. We never move laterally, and that's a really big problem for our ankles. So I just want you to use whatever you need. You don't have to get as low as me on the floor. You could literally do this holding the back of a chair, okay? It's all depending on what your functionality is at the moment. But the goal is to lean all your weight to one side, allow your heel to come up, and you're just going to rock your ankle back and forth as you're here. Okay, from the side, you can see my heel is up, but I'm still trying to increase that ankle mobility, and then I'm just rocking my ankle side to side. So I can hold on to the floor, you can hold on to a chair, you can hold on to the couch, whatever you need. So definitely take advantage. Do this workout multiple times a week, 3 to 4 times a week at the very least. And I will see you guys in the next stretching video. Bye.